You know what I love, baby?
What's that, hon?
I love waking up every day and seeing a new exotic location and exploring and all of that fun stuff.
You know what I love?
What?
Sleeping in.
Well, today we are going to discuss port days versus
Sea days.
and what no one tells you about them. Come and cruise with us. Come and cruise with us. Come and cruise with us, and you won't regret it. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
I'm Laurie.
And I'm Gary.
And we are
Laurie and Gary Cruise.
Welcome back to our channel.
Hello.
All right, port days versus sea days. We're just going to go through different categories about them one by one and talk about it. Let's get started. Subject number one.
The vibe difference.
All right, let's talk about a sea day vibe.
Okay. Sea days. I love sea days. I love sitting out on the balcony, watching the sea go by, watching different locations go by, the mountains and whatever, getting up whenever you want to, having a breakfast brought to you, room service, and just lounging around. It's just I'm thinking about it right now, and I want to be on a balcony.
Well, baby, to counteract all the good things you just said, sometimes on sea days, the ship can just be so crowded, especially when it rains, that everyone is inside. There's no space. There's no place to sit. It's hectic. It's crazy.
That's correct. Yeah, that's
So that's to counteract that. Whereas port days, it's exciting. It's new. It's fresh. We've never seen it before. We're in a brand new place. So we get to learn. We get to discover. So
we get to observe. We get to watch. We get to see.
So exciting.
And what you forgot, hon, is on sea days, if the sun is out, nobody's going to be inside. Everybody's going to be crowded on the pool.
Oh,
Yeah.
good one, baby.
Yeah.
You're proving my point, though.
Yeah.
You're supposed to.
The vibe on port days is, number one, the lines getting off the ship. They can be so long. We've waited in line over an hour and a half sometimes 2 hours. And it's a place where, like, Laurie and I have never been. It's a place where, like, maybe 80% of the people have never been, and they just want to get the heck off their ship. And so we just stand and stand and stand and stand and stand. And it's just, that's another reason why I like sea days.
Next pro port day thing I want to talk about is some hidden port day hacks. And number one, of course, is this is the time when you get to experience all the things on board that maybe are normally too crowded, too long of a wait, or whatever was already booked up. Like if you're on Royal Caribbean, you can go to a lot of the specialty restaurants for lunch on those days. And the number one thing we like to do on port days if we stay on the ship is the solarium, which normally we can't even get a space at.
Yes. And it's inside. Most times it's air conditioned. So yeah, good point, babe. Good point.
Also, included all that is the fact that you don't have to wait to find a seat in the buffet or wait in a long buffet line.
True.
Which brings us to our next topic is on sea days, it's like the Hunger Games in the buffet. I mean,
it's crowded.
it's so crowded. Sometimes you've waited in line for 10 minutes. You're about to get the food item of your choice, and someone will just come in front of you and grab it.
Yeah.
And getting a table, if you don't have your stuff all spread out, people will try and take your seats. They'll try and sit right next to you because there's no other space. It can be crazy.
I've seen people pick up a donut, look at it and go, nah, I don't want that, and put it back. What is that about? You know, one thing to go against what I'm talking about, one thing that I don't like on sea days is trying to find a chair next to the pool or anywhere around the pool or even a deck above or a deck below. It's just, it's maddening. And then on a mega ship, you have to really deal with about 2,000 or 3,000 kids.
But you know what, babe? We recently had a port day where we didn't get off the ship and we were like, ooh, we're going to have such a great time by the pool.
Oh, yeah.
And we still couldn't get a chair.
That's right, yeah.
So maybe it's not just a sea day thing anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Next thing I want to bring up is budget impact. Sea days are definitely cheaper. There's no excursions that you have to pay for, obviously. There's really not anything you have to pay for. Everything is inclusive in the price of the ticket to get on board in the first place.
Yeah, you know what? That's kind of true because even if you are able to have a cheap excursion day, you're still going to want to buy something, even if everything you do off the ship is right near the ship and you don't have to pay for transportation and you don't buy an excursion.
You're going to have to buy something.
You're going to buy something.
Yeah.
Whereas sea days, we usually...
You're going to buy a souvenir. You're going to pick up something.
Sea days, even if we do end up going out to a specialty dining restaurant, that's usually been paid for months in advance, so
Right.
it feels a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
You guys, we're almost to the end of our little port day versus sea day tirade. But before we get there, could you guys please hit the
Like and subscribe button.
with the
Notification bell.
it helps us. We appreciate it. And also, we would really love to know, do you guys prefer sea days or port days? Are you a port girly like me or a sea man like him?
Let us know in the comments.
No. Comments. All right.
We answer all of them, so we read them all and we answer them all. So let us know.
Finally, Team Port Day versus Team Sea Day wants to come together and discuss our ideal dream cruise itinerary. The itinerary that would make us both happy and satisfy both of our needs.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a 10-day cruise, 5 sea days, 5 port days.
At least 10 days.
What do you think about that, baby?
At least 10 days, yeah. You know, you get a 7-day cruise and it just goes by like that. We've never done a 3 or 4 day cruise. That would just be crazy. I mean, it would be over before we even unpack. But so we love 10 days, 2 weeks.
What's awesome is because we usually cruise out of New York City because it's just easier for us than
we live in New York City.
Yeah, and the cruises that go to the Caribbean are usually between 10 days and 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So we often cruise our dream cruise itinerary, and something else bonus that I love about a lot of the cruises we've done
What's that?
is we usually have a port day that we don't care about. Not even me.
Mm-hmm.
That we don't care about.
For instance, St. Martin, we've been there a dozen times.
And we're over it.
Yeah.
We're over St. Martin.
Yeah. So we just stay on board.
And we always have a very nice time.
Nice, relaxing.
Or sometimes we'll get off the ship for like 1 hour and then get back on and enjoy the emptiness of the ship.
Yeah.
But even though I'm Team Port Day and he's Team Sea Day, both of us are Team Cruise.
Team Cruise, baby.
No matter how many port days.
Team Cruise, there's nothing like cruising. I mean, it's better than going to some place like spending 2 weeks in Paris. You're there in Paris. Paris is a great city. But when you cruise, you get to see this place, that place, this place, that place. The meals are included. Entertainment's included. It's just, we've mentioned that before, but it's just the best way to travel.
I would rather do an all sea day cruise like the Atlantic crossing than no cruise at all.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to wrap it up for us today.
All right.
So definitely let us know your thoughts, sea days versus port days, in the comments below again. And of course, once again, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until the next time, we want you to
live your best cruise life.
Bye.
Bye-bye.